Hello, my name is Jamil Khoury. I am the founding artistic director of Chicago's Silk Road Rising, and I am the author of the video play Bothand. How would I describe Bothand? Bothand is a short video play, approximately 12 minutes long, that sets out to undermine some rather either-or assumptions about identity. It is also quasi-autobiographical. In Bothand, the characters of Jameel, Arab man, and gay man explore and explode the contested borders between American and Arab, Arab-American and gay, for-profit and not-for-profit, and assorted other disputed territories. What inspired Bothand? Bothand is derived from my stage play WASP, White Arab Slovak Pole, that was originally commissioned and produced as part of the DNA Trail, a genealogy of short plays about ancestry, identity, and utter confusion. I essentially culled material from WASP and then created some new material specifically for Bothand. What is the DNA Trail? The DNA Trail was a project I conceived in which 7 playwrights, including me, each took a genealogical DNA test, swab of saliva on a Q-tip that we sent to a lab, and then each wrote a short play in response to either the results of the tests or the conversations surrounding the tests. This collection of short plays had its world premiere at Silk Road Theatre Project in the spring of 2010. Why the title Bothand? I learned the term Bothand from second wave American feminism. I am a huge fan of the second wavers. For me, Bothand is a rebuttal. It is the antidote, the challenge, to the more masculinist notion of either or. Either or being a very established paradigm in American culture. This or that, black or white, us or them. Bothand, on the other hand, is holistic. It's integrative, complementary. It is the idea that one can be both this and that. If traditional masculinity espouses competition and rigid dichotomies, then feminism posits a worldview that is empathic, cooperative, more about interdependence and equality, less about winners and losers. In my own life, I have been asked to separate, compartmentalize, prioritize the various components of my identity. It has been suggested that some of these components are at odds with each other. Arab American and gay comes to mind. Go figure. And since I actively refuse to bifurcate my person, I am a Bothander. And being a Bothander allows for fluidity. It honors the fact that identities shift and evolve and are transformed. Ultimately, Bothand is a much more liberating position from which to approach life than either or ever could be. For the record, Arab American and gay work together fabulously. How true to life is the character Jameel? Well, clearly he is based on me, but Bothand is not strictly autobiographical. I do take artistic license, so I best establish that Jameel is not entirely representative of this Jameel. That said, I feel enough kinship with the Jameel in the story that giving him a name other than my own would have felt, well, dishonest. What inspired the character Arab man? I know this guy, or at least various iterations of this character. The conversations between Jameel and Arab man in the video play are composites of actual conversations I have had with certain Arab men over time. So he is a character for whom I feel a great deal of affection and familiarity, but he also evokes a certain anxiety and animosity within me/Jameel. Is the character Arab man derived from a stereotype? You know, at Silk Road Rising, we are in the business of challenging stereotypes. As a theater producer, as a theater artist, I take very seriously the importance of subverting and deconstructing stereotypes. I don't promote stereotypes. So when certain Arab and Arab American friends of mine, mostly theater artists, expressed misgivings about the character of Arab man, I listened. On the one hand, these friends, whom I love and respect, know the character very well, perhaps too well. I would hear, "Oh, that's my father," or "That's my brother, that's my uncle." But on the other hand, they worry that he's advancing negative stereotypes of Arab men. In particular, some of my friends took exception to the very name Arab man, insisting that it implies all Arab men. And yet, in the scenes between Jameel and Arab man, there are two Arab men present, Jameel and Arab man. And instead of acknowledging the very real contrast between these two very different Arab men, it appears that Arab man's ultimate denial of Jameel's Arabness has more currency with audiences than I would have expected. Jameel is not the one being called out as either stereotypical or representative of Arab men. Arab man is. So ironically, for some of Arab man's critics, if I understand their objections correctly, Arab man becomes both the arbiter of Arabness and the embodiment of Arab male stereotypes. Two suppositions that I, as the creator of Arab man, entirely reject. I maintain that Arab man is, of course, not representative of all Arab men. He represents a social conservatism characteristic of some Arab men, no doubt, but one that ultimately transcends Arabness. His voice, his socially conservative views, his economically conservative views could be embodied by a South Asian character, a white American character, a Latino character, or whomever. As for the name Arab man, for me the name has very specific and personal and situational meanings, not to mention it being a bit tongue-in-cheek. Now, it could be that in the larger context, naming the character Arab man was a mistake. Maybe it was politically irresponsible. I'm not convinced of that, but I've been wrong before. That said, if naming my character Arab man causes anyone any hurt, I sincerely apologize. What does the character gay man represent to me? What he doesn't represent to me is all gay men or all white gay men. Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. But he does represent a certain gay man that I knew for a very brief period of time several years ago, and this gay man had all sorts of complicated reactions to me. He was attracted to my white, all-American looks, his words, not mine, and yet greatly disturbed by the specter of my potential non-whiteness, as exemplified by my Arabic name. My interest in him was much more immediate, far less complicated, and ultimately more primal. Interestingly, some women friends of mine, both straight and gay, have expressed a strong dislike for the character of gay man and object equally as strong to the dynamics that exist between Jameel and gay man. They argue that Jameel allows himself to be debased by gay man only to then consummate his humiliation by kissing gay man. While I fully appreciate where my friends are coming from, and I am moved by their coming to Jameel's defense, i.e. my defense, I maintain that Jameel was very much in control of the situation and laser focused on his sole objective with gay man, which was, of course, getting in his pants, which is a good thing. What do I hope audiences take away from Bothand? Well, I hope they love Bothand. I hope it challenges audiences. I hope it spurns conversation and further inquiry. And I hope it advances more both-and approaches to identity and life and helps us move away from the dictates of either or. How's that for ambitious? If you have not yet seen Bothand, I hope that you will. It means a great deal to all of us at Silk Road Rising to be able to share this story with you. And on that note, I thank you. Goodbye.